ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dow here. You know, there's a lot to be desired today, and the one thing I really truly want to talk about here just for a moment to try to get us all to think. Now, we know last year that Donald Trump, when he was campaigning, he was filling up stadiums. Even in the pandemic and stuff, no matter where he go on the street and stuff, he was still filling up places and stuff. But when it's filling up city streets, it's just crazy. But then all of a sudden, Joe Biden becomes the most popular president in American history by vegging out in his basement. Wouldn't hardly communicate with the public. The news cameras made sure that they didn't get any shots. Go back and look at it again. Of the crowds and stuff. He never drew any crowds. He stayed in his basement hiding out. And we're supposed to believe that he got 6 to 7 million more votes. Over 80 million votes. Joe Biden did. In his last election, and he's more popular than Abraham Lincoln, more popular than Ronald Reagan, more popular than Barack Obama, more popular than Donald Trump. I just still can't wrap my mind around this. And we live in a very cynical world. We truly do. A very cynical world. To where everything is literally being turned upside down. The thing that used to be a lie has now become the truth. And the thing that was the truth is now a lie. And it's just like this. The same thing as always has been when you're dealing with anything in reference to the so-called American legal system. It has nothing to do with truth or lies or what they call perjury and all this other stuff. It has to do with strategy. Whoever comes up with the best strategy usually wins. And we live in a very fallen country. We just got finished, the Democrats did, pushing through a stimulus bill. $1.9 trillion. Now, don't get me wrong. The Republicans did the same thing last year about this time. They pushed forth a stimulus bill, $1.9 trillion. But the problem with the Democrats is they're calling this a COVID bill. And the majority of this, a lot of this bill, I'm going to say a hell of a lot of this bill is designed to help New York and California. Now, who's just happened to be in New York and California? Who just happened to be New Yorkers? And who's just happened to be Californians? Nancy Pelosi and Chucky Schumer. House and the Senate majority. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that utterly amazing? And they're giving a lot of money to their states. As a matter of fact, Nancy is giving $140 million to a subway system in her home district. But it's a stimulus package, right? And when you look at the whole entire bill as a whole, hardly any of it, just pennies of it, is going to so-called relief for the Americans. Relief concerning this COVID-19 stimulus and everything else that's supposed to help people out, allegedly small businesses. There's money from the last stimulus that ain't even been spent yet. And yet and still we're supposed to believe everything that these people are saying. Now, I have concerns. I have major concerns. Number one, I don't want Kamala Harris in the office because that woman is eerie. That woman is a Jezebel. That woman is, when you have a history of getting into politics because of you had relationships, extramarital affairs with downtown Willie Brown, and you made your way to the top that way and stuff, and then you look at her record, the way she continually locked up melanated people in California. We have some devils. We have devils that are running this country. Now, solution. I don't never talk to you about things I'm concerned about without solutions. And let me also throw this in there. Do we actually really truly believe that Joe Biden is going to make it 4 years? Really, do you really truly believe he's going to make it 4 years? The other day, he had a so-called a little conference. And then he asked the people, I'm going to take questions or do whatever you want me to do if that's what I'm supposed to do. And as soon as he said that, y'all all seen it, they cut the feed. Who is really, truly running this country? And do you really, truly think that a press conference is coming with this particular president right here? Do you really, truly think it's going to happen? I don't see it happening because I don't think he can stand the heat and the pressure coming from One American News, Fox News, and other alternative news sources that ain't going to turn around and have on the padded gloves and stuff when they ask him questions. think it's going to be, um, I think it's going to be a very vigorous press conference if it ever materializes. I'm not holding my breath. Now, why do I talk about all this? Well, if I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. If we as a people would be whatever you want to be, it's your right, your freedom. You can talk about what you want to do, and you can, whatever you want to talk about, you can live the way you want to live. That's your prerogative and stuff. But if what you're talking about and the choices and decisions that you're making in your life, if they're not preparing you for what's coming down the line, then what good is your existence? I mean, if you're still waiting on a $15 minimum wage to be passed and stuff, you can forget that. It ain't going to happen. It doesn't profit them. It doesn't profit the people in this world to give you $15-something, which I think is actually working at a burger joint is a notable deed. Working at a chicken joint is a notable deed. That's what I did when I was a teenager. But I don't think that your churches, I don't think your mamas and your daddies, I definitely don't think the schools are helping you economically the way that it should be done. You should be investing in yourself, and you should be getting around people who think like you do, who have the same ambitions, dreams, and desires going forward. Because you're going to need them. This country is falling apart. And I don't know what this optimism is, this so-called alleged perceived optimism, to where you think that this thing is going to stay together. It ain't going to stay together. It just simply ain't going to do it. You got a president that don't know where he's coming or going. He literally don't know. He don't know what to say one minute or another. And at any time, he's subject to go off script. I mean, just the other day, he was a and then why would you be talking about something and then the N-word come out? That ain't on the teleprompter. The N-word will come out, and then he still holds fast that black folks don't even know how to operate a computer, and they don't even know how to even get to Walgreens in order to be. I'm telling y'all, we got some mess in this country. Now they want to sidetrack everybody about this Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Who gives a damn about them and their family feuds and family spats and squabbles and stuff like that? We got greater concerns that we need to be thinking about over here in this country. Listen to Pastor Dow. Find you a nice little piece of land somewhere. Build a nice little home on it. Get you a cast iron wood stove so that if it ever freezes, because the cold, man, when winter's coming and winter's here, man, it kills and it hurts really bad. Learn how to live simple. The people think that these cities are going to stay afloat. They think that the money that they have, money is failing. Money failing bad. Can you imagine what's getting ready to happen now that we done passed another? We're getting ready to embark on $30 trillion. $30 trillion. Have y'all seen the national debt clock lately? $30 trillion and the interest on our $30 trillion of debt, and that's not including another $200 or $300 trillion in unfunded liabilities, Medicaid, Medicare, and all this other crap. We're looking at, just to pay on the national debt, $500 billion a year. That's our interest. That is our interest payment. To who? The American people? To who? The printing press? To who? No, the Federal Reserve. Who is the Federal Reserve? It's an outside entity of the United States of America. It's bankers. Who runs the world? The bankers run the world. That's who runs the world. Whoever's printing money. And where do they get the money from? Where do they get these so-called tools like Ben Shalom Bernanke said? And I just, don't go out there and get in debt. Don't go out there and start spending stuff left and right on credit. Don't do it because that's what they want you to do. Don't do it. That's my personal opinion. My personal opinion. I'm telling you because that's what I would do. I would not go out there and support this credit debt-based system. It's a killer. Remember, the borrower is a servant to the lender. And to whomsoever you yield your member's service to obey, that's whose servants you are. So if you owe this wicked system out here who ain't going to give you no debt forgiveness, i.e. medical bills, college tuition, you got to be a fool, a prating fool to be set up here trying to go to school, go to college today. You got to be a prating fool. You got to go to school and go to college this environment right here when you can't even in no way, shape, fashion, or form find a job anywhere that's going to equal the alleged so-called degree that you're going to school for. And I'm sitting here looking at this TV right here. I'm looking at who in the hell is RuPaul? Who is RuPaul? Anyway, we're done. We're done. So separate yourselves in a very strategic way from the people of this land, and sometimes that means even suffering loss from your crazy, satanic-minded family as well. Separate, I'm telling you, because these people will do everything they can to keep you in bondage and to keep you in this fray right here, because they refuse to look at the issues, to see things the way they really truly are, and they refuse to change. But I'm telling you what, man, you got to ask yourself a question. Let's just get real. Is Joe Biden really the president of the United States of America, or is he a controlled figurehead and somebody else is pulling the strings? Ugh. Don't put a sick taste in your mouth. But I'm telling you this right now, with the way things are going and the way that the Democrats are handling stuff, midterm elections are getting ready to come up. They're getting ready to lose. They're getting ready to lose it. And I don't know if they're going to be able to recover from this one right here. I really, truly don't. But, hey, the first thing, we can say this, that the Republicans did go to work at this election to make sure that they secure true, fair elections. Now, I don't believe any election is fair. I don't have no hope in the Republicans. I have no hope in the Libertarians. I have no hope in the Democrats. I have no hope in none of them whatsoever at all. I speak to you on these issues to bring these things up so that you'll know exactly what to do, so that you'll know exactly what's going on. Like I said, the Republicans just did this thing last year. They just passed a $1.9 trillion stimulus almost in the same month last year. And here we are again, a year later, $1.9 trillion stimulus. And then Chucky Schumacher's talking about actually getting ready to do another bill for New York to change his whole entire subway system. Why would they do that when people are fleeing New York like a rat flees a sinking ship? Ain't nobody trying to stay in that cesspool of hell. That gum infested, rat infested place. And why are you still in New York, and why are you in California and Illinois? Them three places is the cancer of America. Man. Anyway, hope it said something to stimulate thought. Have a good day.